بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم ولا حول ولا قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Ramadan Mubarak and a early Eid Mubarak as we look like we are going to be quickly approaching the day of Eid tomorrow on Friday. Allah knows best, but it's looking like that will be the case. And so we hope that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has accepted our acts of worship during this blessed month of Ramadan, and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will make us at the muttaqeen, those who have increased in our taqwa of Him subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will allow for us to continue to increase. And so we wanted to continue what we began with during this blessed month of Ramadan, looking at different selections from the Quran. And so inshallah today we wanted to look at Surah Al-Muzammil, which is coming from the 29th juz of the Quran, in which Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala He says,
يا أيها المزمل قم الليل إلا قليلا نصفه أو انقص منه قليلا أو زد عليه ورتل القرآن ترتيلا.
And so in the translation of the meanings of those verses, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala He says, O you who wraps himself, arise to pray the night except for a little, half of it or subtract from it a little, add to it and recite the Quran with measured recitation. And so we wanted to mention these beginning ayats from Surah Al-Muzammil as a means of encouragement coming off of this blessed month of Ramadan. And so as we have been going throughout this month of Ramadan, we have been in the regular habit of getting up for suhoor and reciting the Quran. And so I wanted to end off with these verses that encourages us for two things that we, inshallah, will be able to maintain going outside of the month of Ramadan. And so the first is the concept of getting up for tahajjud, is that now that the month of Ramadan is going to be exiting, the getting up for suhoor is no longer going to be a part of our normative day. However, the aspect of getting up for tahajjud is something that not only should we do, but we've more or less proven that we can do throughout this blessed month of Ramadan. And getting up for tahajjud is not necessarily something where we have to necessarily make it a difficulty upon us, because any time that we get up before the Fajr prayer comes in, that is going to be considered to be tahajjud. So for example, if a person only gets up and prays 2 brief rakahs before the time of Salat al-Fajr comes in, that is considered to be tahajjud. And so because we have already been used to getting up for suhoor already, coming through these 29 or 30 days of the month of Ramadan, this is just an encouragement for us to continue the practice of getting up in the night. And the thing is that getting up in the night for tahajjud is something that we could never truly exhaust the benefit of it. If you look at many of the scholars of spirituality, those who work on the concept of tazkiyah, the aspect of purification of the heart, one of the things that you will find is a hallmark for all of them is that they always encourage the performance of tahajjud, that a person makes this a regular practice. And so the way that we make it easy for us is that we've already been getting up for tahajjud, or should I say we've already been getting up for suhoor all throughout the month of Ramadan. And so now we just switch the intention and just make it that we're getting up for tahajjud. And again, it could just be 10 minutes before Fajr, because the Fajr prayer, that's no obligation. So we have to get up for Fajr. And so if we just set our alarms maybe 15 minutes before Fajr, so that we can get up, go and make wudu, and then pray 2 rakahs before Fajr comes in, then inshallah we can receive the benefit of the tahajjud prayer. And then at the same time, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He encourages us to recite the Quran in a measured tone, tartilan. And so this is an encouragement for all of us, is that wherever our recitation level is, meaning if it's a situation where we can't read at all, or if it's a situation where we struggle with our reading, or if it's a situation where our tajweed is not at a level of precision, is that we should, inshallah, take this Quranic injunction and try to see if we can raise our level of engagement in terms of the recitation of the Quran. Because this is a part of the adab, the etiquette that we should have with the Quran. And so, whatever our level, again, we will start from there and try to build up from there. So that if we're not able to read the Quran, then this would be an encouragement to begin the process. And yes, it can be a difficult process and it can be a very humbling process, but it's a very beneficial process. That's when a person is able to begin to recite the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala in the same way as the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there's an immense blessing in that. Because you are imitating the way of the best of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's creation. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He loves for the Quran to be recited in a beautiful manner, in a correct manner. And if we are able to read, then trying to work on perfecting our recitation. That there are different levels in terms of recitation, and so we want to strive our utmost to get to the highest level that we are capable of in terms of our recitation. And this goes from the basics, meaning starting with Surah Al-Fatiha, and then even the surahs that we may have already memorized, trying to see if we can find means of perfecting them, to make sure that we're reciting them correctly, to make sure that we're not making major mistakes, and so on and so forth. And by this way, we can develop a closer relationship with the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because ultimately what we want is that we want for the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to become a book that we are in constant engagement with. That we want it to be a situation where there's no book that we are more in depth with than the Quran. And so just in these few verses of Surah Al-Muzammil, this is a means of being able to do that. Because also if we're getting up to pray tahajjud, that is the perfect time to go over the Quran that you may have already memorized, or to revise certain surahs of the Quran that you may be working on, and so on and so forth. And so this is just encouragement for us as something that we can do leaving the month of Ramadan, that inshallah can be of benefit for us in a way that we can't even imagine. That there's no way that we can measure the benefit of those things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, He loves from us. And so may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to be the Ahlul Quran, the people of the Quran, the people who strive their utmost to give the Quran its haqq, its rights, to the best of our capability. And that may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to be of those who strive to try to increase our connection with the Quran. That again, whatever level that we're at, is that we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allow us to go to the next level. And inshallah, in particular in our times today, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has opened up doors that were not necessarily open before. So there are different programs online with varying degrees of cost that a person can utilize in order to be able to accomplish this. Or if a person may have a local masjid or community center that has someone that is capable of teaching the Arabic language or teaching tajweed, that inshallah we can try to take advantage of this as well. But again, this is an encouragement for us that we don't want to leave the month of Ramadan and not take something with us as we have to say farewell to this blessed month. And so may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us of those who do continue to strive to have this relationship with His book, that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala allows us to be of those who will continue to try to increase in our relationship with Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala again accept from all of us all of the acts of worship that we did through this month, and may He increase us in all aspects of good, and may He forgive us for all of our faults and our shortcomings, and may He allow us to be of those who He is pleased with, and that we are pleased with Him subhanahu wa ta'ala. ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم وتوب علينا إنك أنت التواب الرحيم والحمد لله رب العالمين Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.